Welcome to the Chippewa National Forest of northern Minnesota, a place where water makes up over half the forest. I'm making my way out to a remote island to build and spend the night in one of my new favorite shelters. So come along to the Northwoods of Minnesota as we brave a bitter cold night in a bushcraft treehouse. This is Tiny Cabin Life. We're back in the Chippewa National Forest of northern Minnesota, heading out on a pretty unique adventure this week. My goal is to build a bushcraft treehouse on a tiny island out on this lake, but to do so, I need enough downed wood and a suitable location to build. And so finding the right spot is definitely going to be part of the challenge. Right here. It's the smallest one on the lake, and I don't believe there's a formal campsite on it. Now my hope is to be able to build some sort of shelter up there, hopefully a treehouse overlooking the lake. That would just be the coolest thing. We got to have enough wood to build something, so that's kind of the biggest question mark. But from what I can see here, there's a decent amount of fallen trees. Okay, so we've got a little fire ring there. We've got another old fire ring there. These are not official camps. So it's as I thought. This island's just kind of undeveloped. Oh man, take a look at this. This egg right here has got to be from a goose. I've actually been by this island before and had a group of nesting geese come out and get pretty angry that I was here. So I moved on. Now the fact that we're seeing this egg here away from a developed nest, I hate to say it, but I think it means that a predator most likely came through here and got at the eggs. Oh, and there you go. We've got a goose on her nest right there. Clearly she had another predator come through here and attack it, so I'm sure she does not like seeing me up here. I gotta go. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to camp here. We're gonna have to go to one of these other islands and figure something else out. Well, that's a major shame. I've always wanted to camp on this island because of how small and quaint it is. But yeah, I just can't disturb that bird over there. I decided that I would try out the other small island that's here, which has an established campsite on it. Although I'm not too optimistic about the wood situation there because of the established camp. They probably clean it up from time to time. Oh, and there's another pair of nesting geese on this island. Man, that's a shame. I definitely don't want to camp on a small island with a nesting goose. It's gonna freak them out the whole night, and I won't feel good about it. So I guess there's really no choice but to head to the largest island here. Well, my time for being picky is over. We're running out of time to build this shelter today, so I gotta find something, whether it be for a treehouse or a lean-to. We just gotta find somewhere to spend the night, so I'm gonna start looking for anything that I can. Pretty windy out here today, so I'm looking for a location to build this shelter that has some natural protection. So we've got these 3 massive white pines, and they are grouped together just perfectly to build this platform. They're the perfect length apart from each other and should create a very stable base for this tree house. Now, I was really hoping to find a spot that had a big open view of the lake. We certainly don't have that here, but we will be able to see the lake from up in the treehouse. And honestly, beggars can't be choosers at this point, because I gotta start building this thing because I need somewhere to sleep. To build this shelter here, I need a hefty amount of downed wood, but thankfully the larger island here has plenty of it. So I'll be cutting up down trees and branches to create this tree house. And when I'm done, I'll turn all of it into firewood for campers here this summer. Well, we pulled it off again. Not a bad place to spend a night, I'll tell you what. It's pretty amazing to not only be elevated up in the trees, but to be so close to the lake where I can hear the waves lapping up on the shoreline. It's unbelievable. Now, I did the build essentially the exact same way as I did the first time I built one of these, but one of the big changes that I made was switching out the tarp with this canvas one. And man, I love it so much more already. It's not only more heavy duty, I think it'll retain heat better, especially when I close off the front, because I brought extra tarp for that tonight. But I also love the color. It really fits in well with the landscape here. And so, yeah, I really like it. I think it's a nice upgrade. Evening was starting to set in, and despite the crazy wind outside, I wanted to try at least to do a little bit of fishing just for the fun of it. I brought some worms along, so might as well give it a shot. It's exciting to be back out fishing again. I had just an incredible year last year. I caught so many fish and some big ones too, including a massive pike. It was awesome. So we'll see what this year brings. I'm hopeful that maybe we'll have some good luck again. Oh, and another nesting goose. Can't fish here. Have to find another spot. We'll try just right over here. It's enough distance from her, and we'll still get a little bit of a windbreak. I don't know, maybe there'll be some bluegill hanging out there. At this point in time, fishing opener had not arrived yet, so I can really only go for bluegill or crappies. And with the wind here, I really don't expect much to happen, but it feels really good just to be casting a line again. Gave it my all, but after a while I decided that it was time to put the rod down and try to make some dinner. right, everybody, we're gonna take a quick pause in the adventure so I can share something pretty cool with you. I've been making my own camping gear. It's been a ton of fun, and I've been doing it with a 3D printer. When I used to hear about things being 3D printed, I could not wrap my head around how that actually worked. Until recently, when a friend told me about Bamboo Lab and how I could 3D print my own camping gear and more with ease. This is the Bamboo Lab A1 with the AMS light. It allows me to do multicolored 3D printing very easily. Literally all I have to do is open the Bamboo app, select the model that I want to print, and the printer gets going on it right away. This thing costs about the same amount as a high-end coffee maker, and it looks incredibly cool. It's not only allowing me to create my own camping gear, but also to make models and little toys for Olivia, which has been a lot of fun. So let me show you some of the stuff that I've been making. First of all, guys, check out the camp cutlery that I made. It not only looks really good, but it works incredibly well too. I was also able to finally print a stand for my fuel cartridge here for my little backpacker stove. Hopefully that saves me from spilling soup, coffee, all the things that I have done many times before. And speaking of coffee, look at what I made for doing pour overs. This thing was 100% 3D printed, and I think it turned out great. Not too shabby. And I gotta say, nowadays when I think of something that I need, my first thought is, can I just 3D print this myself? Because the chances are I probably can. I also made this little belt clip, a little container for matches, and I also made this little shovel, which goes in my bathroom kit. I'll let you figure out what I use that for. I also made this tiny little emergency whistle, which is super easy to just throw in my pack because you never know when you might need it. But also just check out these toys that I made for Olivia. You've got this jumping spider here, which is really, really cool. And then I also made this little otter, which is so detailed, and she absolutely loves it.
Jack made me this massager, and he knows that I'm on my feet all day chasing after Olivia, so he knew that I needed this.
It's been so much fun modeling different things, and it fits right into our basement. And it's ultra quiet, so I'm able to kick back, relax, and take a nap while it's working away in the background. And again, I just love how simple it is. Other 3D printers require parameter tweaks or calibrations, but Bamboo's autoflow calibration takes all of that out of the equation. And again, it's so cool that it can do multicolored printing, which again is how I made the little otter for Olivia. This thing also prints incredibly fast too. What I usually do is set it up to print something, head out, run some errands, or do anything, and usually by the time I come back, it's done. And while I'm out and about running errands, I'm messing around with this little spiky fidget ball that I made. It is incredibly satisfying. And so I'm happy to say that if you're interested in 3D printing, it's easier than ever with Bamboo Lab. For more information, just follow the link in the description of this video. And with that, let's get back to the adventure. Trying to get some coals going here so I can cook some dinner. My plan is to cook a steak over the fire, as well as some green beans and maybe some mashed potatoes. We'll see. It's a pretty big ask for me. I'm not the best at cooking over fire, but you know, practice makes perfect, and so I figured I'd give it a shot. All right, I think I kind of have what I need to cook. We'll find out. Dear Lord, thank you for just a great day, an awesome treehouse to sleep in, and some good food here. Keep me safe tonight. Amen. Well, I am pretty proud of this meal right here. This steak, I think, is going to be incredible. I think I cooked it exactly the way I wanted. I like it medium rare, more on the well done side than the rare side. So we'll see what it looks like when I cut into it. Ooh, and I forgot, I actually have some bread here, which I'm going to chuck right on the coals. We'll eat this stuff and then enjoy this last. Ooh, that's actually pretty rare. More rare than I usually like it, but I think it's still gonna be good. Let's give it a taste. That is so good. It's tender, there's so much flavor, and I think it's cooked enough. I definitely do. It is very delicious. All right, let's try these green beans. They are delicious too. Man, there's just nothing quite like food cooked over a fire, especially when you pull it off. Oh, wow. That looks good. I even brought some butter. Here we go. It's French bread with everything bagel seasoning on it, which is my favorite type of seasoning other than taco seasoning. Well, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Wow. It's toasty warm in here. So much that I had to actually remove my layers. And it is so incredibly peaceful. Not just up here, but on this island. Now it is supposed to get very cold overnight. Let's see what the forecast is saying. So right now it is 47 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's supposed to drop down to 33 degrees overnight. So it's definitely going to get cold. I'm prepared for that. I've got an insulated pad to put up here. I've got a good sleeping bag, so I'll be fine, but that's pretty chilly for May, gotta say. Oh my gosh. Summer is surely taking its time. All right, everybody, it is time to hit the hay. It's definitely chilly outside now, but I'm all bundled up in my sleeping bag. I've got this insulation underneath me. That's about all it is. It's not a lot of padding, but should be good enough to get some sleep. So that's what I plan to do. Going to be getting up super early, so I'm going to get some shut-eye. We'll see you first thing in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm up earlier than I even wanted to be.
because I just couldn't sleep anymore. Last time I did this, I had my AirPad. I didn't bring that this time because I was a little paranoid that I could pop it with all the, twigs and things sticking out of the branches that I used for the platform here. So I don't have much padding. And finally, after tossing and turning for a while, I just kind of was like, all right, I better just wake up. I forgot my coffee cup on this one, which means I have to drink it out of this little pot. The bummer about that is the fact that this is a very thin, light piece of stainless steel, and so it gets really, really hot. So I'm gonna have to wait a while to drink this so that the coffee can cool and the pan or pot can cool down as well. "30 degrees. It always gets colder than it says it's going to. So I knew it would drop below freezing. It also says that we have near critical fire weather conditions today. The winds are going to pick up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. Very little humidity. So it's a good thing we got to spend our time here yesterday and are taking off this morning."
Wow, take a look at that right there. That's a solid amount of firewood. And that's what's cool about this experience. Not only were we able to come out here and have a good time, build a shelter, but we cleaned up some of the deadfall here on the island, and we're able to leave a ton of firewood for campers this summer. With the shelter torn down and all my gear packed up, it was time to head back to shore. We are back on shore, safe and sound, and I think with that, I'm going to wrap up this adventure. Thank you all so much for coming along. This was such a fun one. It started off a little rocky. Not gonna lie, after we struck out at those first 2 little islands, I was a little worried that I wasn't gonna be able to do what I wanted to do, but man, did it turn around. The treehouse was better than ever. It was so comfortable, cozy. I could work on the sleeping situation a little bit. I certainly will for next time, but man, overall, it was just an awesome time with some good food as well. As always, I want to give a special thank you to our patrons who generously donate to this channel. Thank you all so much. But again, to all of you who watch, comment, subscribe, you're all the reason that we get to do this on a weekly basis, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. But for now, it's time for me to get this stuff loaded up so I can get home and see the girls. We'll see you next week. God bless.